If you really want to go on longer streaks on semen retention and take this shit seriously, you gotta view this shit like an investment for real. Dead ass, especially if you want to win in life. This is how I view this shit. It's like if I get the urge to bust, I'd be like, this shit is investment. I can use this shit to change my life. This life force that I have within myself, bruh, I can use this to build and create my life. Dead ass, instead of just using this shit to drain myself, you know? Because this life force energy you have is an investment. Why you think they promote women all the goddamn place on the media to make us men weak? Do you know what physically it does to us? It drains us, makes our bones fucking weak. You basically telling yourself the mission's done when you busting. This is what I came to realize. If I really get that urge, it's basically what I'm telling myself. If I'm sleeping with that woman, if I'm releasing on the screen, is my mission is fucking complete. It's done. Seriously, for real. Yeah, motherfucker, especially the way my life is going right now, I don't have no time to fucking waste. Especially to bust to nothing or to bust to chicks that's not adding nothing to my life or to my purpose. What's the fucking point? Dead ass. As you go on longer streaks on this shit, you start to want to protect your energy more, you know? Because that shit is investment for real. You can't just be going around give your energy away to just random thoughts and shit, low vibrational things and beings and shit, bro. That's how your soul becomes dead. That's how spiritually you become dead within. This is why motherfuckers around this bitch walk around with no life in them, for real. It's because they constantly draining the essence, they life force energy. The more they constantly just keep releasing and releasing and releasing, bro. This shit is not pleasure for real. And once I realized, like, the fucking consequences you suffer just constantly releasing your life force with no intent, with no purpose, dog, that shit kills your soul. That shit kills your energy and your creativity. And I was like, dog, I got a purpose to fulfill, and I can't be over there just wasting my life force energy for no fucking reason for real. And I'm just gonna lose my focus if I'm just over here just lusting and lusting. You just don't get nothing out of that shit for real. Chasing for a woman that don't add nothing to your life for real. There's plenty of beautiful women around this goddamn world. Don't get me wrong. I'm a male. I have my urges and shit like that, but I don't act on towards them. You know what I do? I meditate. I come outside in nature. Shit like this keeps me from going on retention. Little shit like this, just me outside, just breathing because naturally I'm excited for life itself. I always been like this, but especially when I hopped on retention 10 times, it's like I'm more driven. I'm more excited to do things in life. You know, to go after things in my life on some real life shit because I got a vision, I got a purpose to fulfill in this life. That ass, and I realize if I really want a good future, I gotta do the hard shit that I'm doing now in my 20s. Especially that I've been on retention for over 5 fucking years. Let that sink in. Obviously, I had multiple streaks, not just fully on retention 5 years, but I had multiple streaks. Seriously, for real. And when I first had my awakening, really what made me hop on retention is I want to tap deep more with my inner self. Especially back in 2020, well, back in 2021, I was like, you know what? I want to change my lifestyle. It started with changing my diet, becoming plant-based, you know, come outside of nature, connect because I deeply wanted to heal, you know. I wanted to ascend consciously because deep down inside, especially as a kid, I was always fucking curious. I tell you that. I was naturally always questioning things, you know? I always had a curious mind. So I pondered towards this and I was like, you know what? I want better for myself. And naturally, I always wanted better for my life. Anyways, at an early age, I was already thinking these things. That should tell you something, nigga, for real. And basically, what makes me stay on retention is I think about the shit that I used to do as a child, pure minded, not thinking about sex, me coming outside in nature, shit like this. This shit that I loved to do as a kid. Me touching on stones and crystals. This is shit I used to do as a fucking kid, I'm telling you. That should tell you my purpose right there, bro. That's how you find your purpose and shit like that. Is the shit that you like to do as a child, you know, where you tap into your inner child. And this is what keeps me on retention. It's just little things like that, and just also too, it's me being physically active, you know, productive always. If I get the urge, bro, I just work out. You know how I view working out? It's like sex towards my body for real. And this is what I came to realize. There's better pleasure than that 15 minutes of just busting a nut. Seriously, for real, especially when you learn how to transmute this energy towards better things in life, you're going to have this higher understanding, this knowing, especially when you just elevate your consciousness to higher realms and frequency and vibration. You're going to come to realize just way better fucking pleasures than that. And naturally, you're going to be on retention because of that shit, because you just know the more you just release and release and release, dog, you're just slowly killing your purpose. You're just slowly killing your soul day by day, especially if you're doing it with no intent. You're just doing it to fucking nothing, bro. You know the consequences you suffer from the universe? Seriously, basically, the more you bust, you're just lowering your frequency and consciousness for real. Why you think the males out there in the world that just constantly release their seed, you know, shit like that, they don't be spiritually aware, they don't be intelligent, they be fucking dumbasses because they constantly just releasing this power, power, and power. That's power right there you can attain for real. This shit get deep, I'm not gonna lie to you. And the reason why niggas don't hop on this shit is because when you hop on this shit, you're facing your inner self, your inner demons, you know? And you got to build a system for yourself, a routine that you follow on a daily basis. Because for me, what keeps me on retention on longer streaks and shit like that is my morning routine, my daily routine that I follow, the system I follow. And this is what I told somebody this. A person's character is built off based on their habits. Let that sink in. And the habits I have on a daily basis that I do in the mornings, goddamn this bird, but that I do in the fucking mornings is I meditate when I wake up instantly. Don't get me wrong, there might be some days I'm not gonna sit up here and just fucking lie that I can get on my phone, but I still get up and just meditate, you know? I do some push-ups, like I stretch my body around, I move my body around and shit like that. And then I start doing breath works sometimes in meditation. Depends how I'm feeling, but I'm doing either of those two, no matter what, nigga. I'm telling you. And then after that, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, and I just come outside, come out in some sunlight because naturally my body craves some sunlight for real, especially that I'm more light, especially that I'm more on this plant-based diet. Dog, I naturally want to come outside and just soak in this photon energy because this shit feels fucking good. And shit like this makes me not think about just busting for real because I naturally want to come outside and connect for real and have the energy. I need the energy anyways to connect outside in nature for real. If I'm just constantly just busting and just busting, I'm not gonna be able to come outside of here in nature and fucking connect with the elements and shit like that. If I'm just constantly draining my life force, energy, and my essence. But it's like my energy keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it's like naturally I always had the energy though. But now that I'm on this shit, it's like my energy is like throughout the fucking roof. Like my aura is throughout the fucking roof. Like my aura is like the size of a fucking building, nigga. Dead ass. On some real ass shit. Like you can feel my light through the screen. My voice. You can hear it in my voice. You can see it in my face. Like I live this shit daily, man. This is my lifestyle for real. This is life for real. This is my natural setting. And as a man, you should at least experience this shit for real. This power, this essence, this life force energy within. Look at the fucking glow, bro. Like, why would I give this investment up? Why, nigga? Why? Why would you give your investment up? your longest streak ever. Why would you give that shit up to nothing? It's like, bro, you have no time to waste. I'm telling you, bro. This is what I tell myself, especially that I'm hard on myself every day because I'm using this energy to attract things into my life, you know? Manifest and shift into my desired reality for real. If I'm constantly draining my life force energy to nothing, how am I going to be able to have the energy to be able to match that fucking desire that I want? Seriously, if you want to manifest things into your life, into your reality, especially as a male, you gotta have fucking life force energy, dog. On some real ass shit. It's no guaranteed. You gotta practice retention somewhat at your life if you want to attract things, if you want to be more productive in your life, if you want to be better in your life, you have to do this shit. Retention is a must thing. It's up to you. It's either you're gonna be weak or you're gonna be strong because this shit is meant for the strong. This shit is not meant for the weak. This is why niggas don't beat on this shit for real. Because they can't contain all that motherfucking energy for real. They can't handle that shit. Dead ass. All that frequency and vibration. And I realized the longer I retain my seed, you know, my essence and shit like that, it started to change me psychologically. I start to see shit for what it is. Like just constantly just releasing. And I'm like, dog, if I'm going to be doing that, I might as well make a fucking kid. Seriously, that's how I view this shit now. That's how I view sex. Seriously, if I'm not building nothing, making a good connection with a woman, seriously, and building structure and shit like that, because I'm not gonna lie to you, because I want to use this energy to expand my bloodline, you know, to pass on the knowledge and information that I'm learning towards my kids and shit like that, you know. I'm forever not gonna be alone. I'm not gonna lie to you, but how I view sex is like I'm not gonna use this shit. Oh, just to fucking feel good. Nah. Like I view that shit. If I'm gonna be releasing, it's gonna be a kid. So that's why I'm retaining my life force energy as of right now. Because of that shit for real. That's how I view that shit. Because I'm not finna just drain my life force just for nothing or just to feel fucking good. If I'm doing that, it's gonna be a kid.